Sure will be for our Week 14 Monday night matchup between NFC playoff contenders, the Vikings in Seattle to face the Seahawks. You can watch anywhere on the ESPN app. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 o'clock. But last night, the Eagles kept their playoff hopes alive on Monday Night Football.
These are divisional rivals, right? And there's nothing like playing in these type of games in December.
To the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown by Golden Tate.
You see a little limp out of Colt McCoy.
Welcome back to the league, Mark Sanchez. Adrian Peterson is going to help him. A 90-yard touchdown. With that comes history for AD all day. Sproles spins his way into the end zone. And welcome back, Darren Sproles. Wentz looks left on the slant and into the end zone.
Really good win tonight for the Eagles.
It's a good win in a classic division rivalry, and now they have won 2 straight.
We talked AFC playoff picture earlier. Now we move on to the NFC. The Rams and Saints are running the show. LA clinching a playoff berth. The NFC East should be competitive down the stretch. Dallas leads the division while Washington and Philly right now are on the outside looking in. So here's our confidence meter, if you will. Are we wildly confident that these teams will make the playoffs, or is it waning? Let's start with the Eagles, Tim.
I'm going, and just to be clear, color coordinating for Fields, so he's comfortable.
He did that.
Appreciate that very much.
I'm going over here in terms of mild for the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, 2-game win streak for them. First time it's happened for them this year. I do think they get things going on offense, but defensively, I don't know that they're very good. Coach mentioned their secondary. Obviously, they've been banged up. I don't think their front is nearly as good as it was a year ago, and so I just don't know, with a tough schedule on the horizon for them, that they have enough firepower to get it done and consistently win based on the hole they're in.
Almost seems like they need a little bit more time. If we had 8 more games.
So, think of what they have left. They got the Cowboys, so they've already lost to in Philadelphia. They play the LA Rams, and they play also the Houston Texans in Houston. That right there.
Team that's won 9.
I think the only game that they're going to be favored in is Week 17.
Right. It's.
But now remember, this is the defending Super Bowl champs without Carson Wentz a year ago. I don't think anybody was counting them to go on and win the Super Bowl either with Nick Foles.
No, it's possible. Maybe not probable, but certainly possible. Let's talk about the Panthers. Cam Newton had his 11th straight game, completing at least 60% of his passes and throwing multiple touchdowns. It was not enough. However, the Buccaneers handed Carolina its 4th straight loss. Since Week 10, their -7 turnover differential, tied for the worst in the league. That will get you in trouble all day, every day. What's your confidence level here, Field?
Yeah, I'm going to be slightly. I'm not quite a fence sitter, but going up here, obviously things can't get, as I draw an extra, I apologize. Their arrow there. Things can't get any worse than they have over the past 4 games for the Carolina. Sunday against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Reliance on a few guys, and then defensively, they really are having trouble covering anybody in the back end, too. Against the Saints, and the Saints are going to probably have to compete all the way through Week 17 for a #1 playoff spot. Like, I don't know that.
The Royal Blue Field. I was just curious.
We got the right shit.
Oh, there you go. You feel so much better now.
Yeah.
It was real Sunday for the Vikings. They fell short against Tom Brady and the Patriots. Minnesota winless in 5 games this season against teams that take the field with a record above 500. So they've lost against really good teams. But with Washington losing last night, that bumped the Vikings back into the 2nd wild card spot. So they are in if the season ended today. Coach, it doesn't, though. That's the thing. Wild or mild on this Minnesota Vikings team?
Well, I think I'm going to go mildly wild.
Wildly wild.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And he's got
And
the
I got
purple
all
arrow.
kinds of them. All right. I
That
think
made it work.
if they have any chance of winning the NFC North, they are in a must-win situation Monday night against the Seattle Seahawks. They're only a game and a half out of the Bears with Trubisky problems. I picked them last week actually to go into Foxborough and upset them. That went really well. All right, so I'm really putting my money on them to go win on Monday night and get themselves not only in the playoffs but also in the running for the NFC North division title.
All right, speaking of Seahawks, perfect segue, Coach. Thank you. Russell Wilson put on a show against the 49ers, recording his 8th career game with at least 4 passing touchdowns, breaking a tie with Dave Krieg for the most in Seahawks history. Seattle has now won 3 in a row, a 94% chance to make the playoffs. That's courtesy of our Football Power Index, or FPI. Timothy.
Okay, learned a lot from Field throughout this segment here.
As you should.
And so
Yep, little aqua
here
bright.
we go.
Yeah,
We're going to double it up, right? That's actually
whole
almost
uniform.
perfect, right? I really like the Seahawks' chances. I like how they're playing right now. They're, the coach has been talking about playing good defense, running the football. Seattle's doing both of those things. Obviously, the Monday night one, you referenced that. But in Seattle, I like Seattle's chances. And then after that game, a game against the 49ers that they should win. The Chiefs obviously will be tough, but a game against the Cardinals that I think is an easy win for them. I can see them winning 3 of these 4 for sure. Getting them to 10 wins, obviously being a good spot for the Seattle Seahawks.
Really looking. Go ahead.
I think maybe a guy that ought to be discussed as Coach of the Year as we approach the end of the season, people remembering what you do in December, is obviously Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
You look at the way they started, the changes they made on defense, to lose the
Earl Thomas drama.
Yeah, they want to rebuild on that defense, and we talked about that coming into the season, but they're not playing that way.
They're right in the thick of things. So
Great point. Great point.
really good job, and people remember what you do in December.
What's your favorite thing we do? Is it Hat Tuesday, maybe?
I think he likes the panic meter on like
I feel
coach
like
security.
it was Hat Tuesday because you get to put on the helmet. Anyway, we're going to do it either way.
Wait.
I was just curious. I'm sure it's all you can wait for. Listen, who or what are we all in on? That's straight ahead.
You're watching NFL Live.